You guys hear that?
Something's coming.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 things you missed in Ghostbusters Afterlife.
We're ready to believe you.
For this list, we're looking at callbacks, references, and Easter eggs from the latest Ghostbusters film. Naturally, there will be a few spoilers. Did you catch any little details in Ghostbusters Afterlife? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Zombie at Diner. A horde of ghosts is unleashed during the movie's final act, some of which look more familiar than others.
You guys hear that?
Something's coming.
At a diner, the server behind the counter turns to find something outside of the usual clientele, a skeleton-like ghost who wants to be topped off.
The whole city. It's like The Walking Dead.
This creature shares a striking resemblance to the zombie taxi driver from the 1984 film. There are a few noticeable differences, as this ghoul appears even more decayed and wears an old mining hat instead of a cabbie cap.
Columbia Building, 57th Street. I'm in a hurry, so let's not dawdle.
Even if this isn't the exact same character, though, Jason Reitman reportedly confirmed that the scene is a direct homage, even using practical effects to bring the creeper to life. Well, life might be the wrong word. Number 9. Ray's Occult books. While Afterlife is packed with callbacks to the original film, Ghostbusters 2 gets largely sidelined.
Ungrateful little yuppie larva. After all we did for this city.
There's no mention of Vigo or the walking Statue of Liberty, but there is one notable reference to the 1989 sequel. Years after hanging up his proton pack, Ray has found a new line of work, running a bookstore that specializes in bizarre literature. In Ghostbusters 2, Ray opened Occult books after being temporarily forced out of the Ghost game.
Raise a call. 7 o'clock on weekdays, midnight on Saturdays. Thank you.
In Afterlife, Ray has been running the store ever since the Ghostbusters broke up. Ray has also gotten a tattoo reading Revelation 6:12, which alludes to a great earthquake and other hellish imagery. This not only foreshadows the climax, but also calls Ray's Revelation 7:12 mix-up to mind.
I remember Revelation 7:12. And I looked as he opened the sixth seal, and behold, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became as black as sackcloth, and the moon became as blood.
Number 8. Armchair grab. Afterlife opens with Egon, hidden in the shadows, making his final stand against the ghostly enemy at his farm.
We're completely broke, and our grandfather left us this creepy old farmhouse in the middle of nowhere.
Although it appears Egon may be able to ward off the intruder, the ghost ultimately rips through the chair and ends his life. Egon's demise is similar to Dana Barrett's armchair incident from the 1984 film. As Dana tries to unwind, she's drawn to a light emanating from the other room. Dana and the audience are unprepared, as multiple arms suddenly tear out of the chair and hold her back. Whereas Dana is only possessed by Zool, though, Egon sadly wasn't as lucky.
Can I talk to Dana?
There is no Dana, only Zool.
What a lovely singing voice you must have.
Number 7. Classic movie homages. In addition to Ghostbusters, Afterlife possesses echoes of several other beloved movies from the 80s and late 70s. The mountain at the Shandor Mining Company shares a certain resemblance to Devil's Tower in Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
This means something. It's important.
The Spengler family encounters several objects moving around the farmhouse, including chess pieces and a lamp. We wouldn't be surprised if Poltergeist influenced these moments. We'd also be shocked if the mini Stay Puft Marshmallow Man didn't draw inspiration from Gremlins, which came out the same year as the first Ghostbusters. Even the touching ending is reminiscent of E.T., when Elliot bids his alien buddy goodbye. All that's missing from this nostalgic love letter is a Stranger Things actor. Oh, wait. Number 6. Symmetrical stacking. If you ever see an unusually tall stack of books, it means one of two things.
Look.
Either it's a bookworm organizing their summer reading, or you've got a ghost. While investigating the library in the first film, Ray takes note of the symmetrical book stacking, suggesting that something paranormal is nearby. When the Spanglers arrive at Egon's farmhouse, they take notice of the lengthy tower of books that practically reaches the ceiling.
Under the dining table now!
Considering that the rest of the house is in disarray, they seem to assume that it's just part of the mess piling up. Anyone with a PKE meter, though, will tell you that this isn't the work of any living human.
You're right, no human being would stack books like this.
Never forget the Philadelphia mass turbulence of 1947. Number 5. That's a big Easter egg. Searching through the Ecto-1's glove compartment, Egon's grandchildren come across one of his favorite snacks. No, not Cheez-Its, but good guess.
I could look for the name Zool in the usual literature.
Spade's catalog.
Tobin's Spirit Guide.
Yeah.
It's actually a Twinkie, still preserved in its packaging. In one of his most iconic moments from the original film, Egon uses a Twinkie to compare normal psychokinetic energy to significantly bigger levels.
Let's say this Twinkie represents the normal amount of psychokinetic energy in the New York area. According to this morning's sample, it would be a Twinkie 35 feet long, weighing approximately 600 pounds.
The Twinkie analogy, as Harold Ramis called it, derived from an even more complex idea he had about the universe being an expanding four-dimensional balloon. This explanation was so long, though, that only the Twinkie bit made it into the 1984 film.
That's a big Twinkie.
Considering that the Ecto-1 hasn't been driven for almost 30 years, that's a pretty old Twinkie in Afterlife. Those things really never go stale, do they? Number 4. T2 Marshmallow Day. Along with Twinkies, the Ghostbusters also enjoyed snacking on Stay Puft Marshmallows. While the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man doesn't appear in Afterlife, we do get an army of mini Marshmallow Men. As the adorable little troublemakers run amok in a Walmart, one of them stumbles onto a burning barbecue. Consumed by the flames, the mini Stay Puft can be seen giving a thumbs up as he cheerfully melts into oblivion. This is most likely a reference to the T-800's tear-jerking farewell in Terminator 2. Interestingly, in T2 and Afterlife, the heroes are trying to prevent Judgment Day. In the climax of Afterlife, 3 mini marshmallows also get incinerated, looking a lot like Sarah Connor during her apocalyptic nightmare. Next time all hell breaks loose, remember to bring s'more supplies. Number 3. You've earned it. Searching through her grandfather's belongings, Phoebe uncovers the Ghostbusters uniforms.
Who are you?
Egon's uniform has a special treat inside, a Nestle Crunch candy bar. To Phoebe, it's just an old, half-eaten piece of chocolate. Longtime fans, though, will remember when the original trio decided to become Ghostbusters, and Venkman handed Egon a Crunch bar, which he apparently held onto for all these years.
I'm always serious.
Egon, I'm going to take back some of the things I said about you. You've earned it.
The callback is only made more touching when you consider Bill Murray and Harold Ramis's real-life falling out after Groundhog Day. Ramis regretted losing Murray as a friend, and the two wouldn't reconcile until shortly before the former died.
Does he show up on time? Well, we always know where he is. Getting him out of that motorhome can be difficult.
Maybe we're reading too much into it, but the Crunch Bar's presence here could also symbolize Egon's regret over his falling out with Peter and Ray. Number 2. Familiar faces and voices. Afterlife has several memorable cameos, most of which you probably caught. A few, however, might have snuck by like an invisible man. For example, Muncher is voiced by none other than Josh Gad. Muncher feels like a spiritual successor to Slimer, who was based on John Belushi, who we could totally see Gad playing in a biopic someday. The film also features an appearance from J.K. Simmons as Cult of Gozer leader Ivo Shandor.
Something terrible is about to enter our world, and this building is obviously the door. The architect's name was Ivo Shandor. I found it in Tobin's Spirit Guide.
First mentioned in the 1984 film and serving as the antagonist in the 2009 video game, Shandor makes his live-action debut here.
We eat gods for breakfast.
We honestly didn't recognize Simmons until he delivered Shandor's only line. Having worked with Jason Reitman on several other movies, Simmons' presence here shouldn't come as a surprise. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. A deleted scene gets its due. Afterlife has 2 post-credit scenes, one of which references Venkman's infamous electric shock therapy experiment.
Hey! I'm getting a little tired of this!
You volunteered, didn't you? We're paying you, aren't we?
Yeah, but I didn't know you were gonna be giving me electric shocks.
This time with the tables turned. The second post-credit scene takes us back to 1984, right before the Ghostbusters storm Dana's apartment building. Janine gives Egon a coin from the 1964 World's Fair for good luck. Although Egon is afraid he might not return, Janine tells him that it's all right because she has another.
Take it, we might not be coming back.
Take it anyway. I got another one at home.
It's a nice moment, but you probably don't remember it from the original film. That's because it's a deleted scene. While it eventually surfaced on DVD and Blu-ray, Afterlife finally brought this tender moment to the big screen. And as we see from a flash forward to the present, Janine still has the other coin.
Your father wasn't much of a homemaker. He could hardly keep the power on.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.